access to a certain point to get those useful abilities, and that involves playing a bunch of dumb mini games, and that sucks.
Сейчас будет обучалка, которая, в которой нам позволит создать нашего спирита, нашего покемона, скажем так, которых мы должны взращивать.
This is actually one of the only instances that you can do this in a Kingdom Hearts game. This is meant to be a tutorial fight, but you can just quit out of it. And when you quit out of it, the game just puts you to the next bit.
И также перед нами предстанут персонажи еще одной игры от Намуры. The World Ends With You, если я не ошибаюсь.
This is pretty much useless in New Game Plus, but you have to do it. Essentially, it tells you that you can pet them, you can make them, and it shows you that you can get abilities from them. Did I get blue eye? I did.
The three useful things you can do with pets. Pet them,
Well, if I
make
was
them,
doing a
get
new game,
abilities from
Так,
them.
все.
if I was doing a new game run, that would.
Трансляция поднялась, так что все должно быть
The
отлично.
blue eyes,
Why do you need the blue eyes?
because it gives you a magic boost.
Really?
Мы создаем нашего первого спирита.
No, when the first time I saw this, I called it a dog. It's actually a hamster.
It's
called
hamster
Meow.
called Meow Wow,
So there's a combination of different animals in play here.
and you can either you can poke them. Or
У
if you want to
спиритов
fight them,
есть
you can
несколько форм, и
pet them.
получить ту или иную форму можно либо потыкав в него по определенной части тела, либо погладить по определенной части тела.
So Kingdom Hearts is briefly Neopets for a bit while we do this.
Yeah. Well, luckily there's we only do this in the first 15 minutes, and then we never enter these menus ever again.
So I guess if you reset after about 20 minutes of the run, then that can be quite painful. Just a bunch of petting
You gotta
animals
pet the cats.
for the day.
over and over
И
again.
теперь
Entire stream is
мы будем играть за Рику.
Yeah. I usually try not to reset when I play this game, because
That's very understandable.
Погружения у них одни и те же, но отличаются и немножко.
Because the game tells you must play as Riku.
Okay.
In order for the story to progress in this game, you have to do
Чтобы
certain things
закрыть
for
мир,
Sora and Riku.
вам нужно и
When it
пройти
gets
его
to
за
different
обоих
worlds,
персонажей.
You have to have done a certain number of worlds as each of the characters for the game to progress. So at certain points we'll drop, and so we'll be dropping at certain points to complete some of the game as one character, then we'll go back to the other one. We try not to drop unintentionally because that could completely ruin your route for this game. So we don't tend to worry about it because the drop meter doesn't actually deplete as quick as people think it does. It's pretty lenient. You get tons of time. And as you've probably guessed by now, mashing X is the fastest way to move in these.
Все, что вы делаете, вы просто спамите крест, чтобы как можно быстрее добраться до выхода. У Рику будет то же самое, будет точно такая же обучалка по созданию спиритов. Но спириты и немножко отличаются. Использование спиритов, если Сора взаимодействует с спиритами как с объектами, то у Рику спириты сливаются с ним. 2 часа? Ну, да. Ну, и не прямо погружение 2 часа будут. Будет всего, если я не ошибаюсь, погружение штук 5 или 6, если я ничего не путаю.
Depending on which one they're in, they have different abilities that they can grant you.
I did not know that at all.
Yeah.
That explains that.
And it also changes what moves they can learn.
Ah.
So now here's another tutorial fight that I'm just going to quit out of.
Ну, эта игра же была сделана для портативок. А все портативные Kingdom Hearts, они, увы, довольно-таки скучные в плане геймплея. И запутанный ужас, как в плане истории. Игра снова возвращается к Соре.
And something else with the game, you're probably used to seeing most RPGs finish like probably in KH2 you finish like mid-30s. In this game,
Мы должны будем взять сундук сверху, в котором лежит фэнтези. Обычно эти фэнтези используются для крафта питомцев, но так как он всех питомцев перенес с предыдущего своего сейва, то эти все фэнтези он продаст. Чтобы купить водяные бочки или водные бочки. В игре довольно большие локации, я бы сказал, супер большие, и при этом пустые. Вот, и поэтому он перемещается с помощью флоу-моушенов. Обычный бег занял бы просто вечность. Здесь подбираем еще одну фэнтези.
Very frequently in combat, it's quite easy to dodge into a wall and accidentally enter flow motion and everything.
И поднимаем на высокой башне страйк-рейт. Все это мы продадим. Ну, в смысле, он продаст. Привычка, привычка.
And technically, in most situations, it's faster to do this dash, but you have to hit another wall for it to be
you have to
fast.
maintain it. You have to bounce between walls.
Yeah,
otherwise you
which
get,
is
like,
actually kind of hard to control.
Только что подняли одну из самых имбовых магий в игре.
The music in this game is pretty sick. It's one of the reasons why I actually speedrun this game for as long as I decided to.
Продаем у Мугла все, что мы насобирали. Абсолютно все. Ну, может быть, за исключением Балунры, кстати. Балуна. Вот. А, не, и Балун тоже, окей.
You can't sit playing a game hundreds of times for possibly multiple hours with shit music. So.
Yeah,
I agree with that one. And since we know nothing about this game, by the way, in case you're wondering,
И покупаем столько водяных бочек, сколько нам позволит наши мани. Ну и теперь будет прокачка духов.
This is where we get basically one of our main commands for the whole game.
Yeah, this is where we do like the minor grinding section, but like less so than you would on New Game.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I actually know a little bit about this one, can I talk about it?
Go for
Sure.
it.
This is going to be the one thing I say for the entire run.
And it will be
Um,
completely wrong.
So this is some of it will be very wrong. Please correct me at all points. Okay, so this is the water bubbles thing,
Well,
right?
I got it. There's
Got
actually there's a one frame trick that you can do there where you can skip the animation of the secret portal thing opening by mashing the change spirit.
В общем, нам потребуются балунры, парочка штук, там штуки 4 или 5. Нам от
Yes, 'cause it's
льва потребуется магия лечения, курага. И от рю дракона мы заберем суперглайд, это полет, благодаря которому раннер сможет очень быстро перемещаться по локациям.
On the original 3DS version of the game, you had to do all of these minigames, and they last about a minute. So overall, this section took about like 14 odd minutes to complete,
on
something like that.
3DS, this a good segment was between 24 and 25
Wow.
minutes.
Yeah.
On this game, on this version, it is on this version you want between oh, let me do that. On this version you want between about a 14-minute and a 15-minute time.
Okay. Yeah. So it saves a lot of time, thankfully.
You don't actually have to do the mini games on New Game Plus, at least. I think on New Game you.
Также от Magic Лапина мы достанем темный барьер. Это, наверное, самая лучшая защита для Рику. И достанем Magic Boost от Суданеку. Да, вот такой вот ран веселый.
Well, I basically guess when it has about 280 link points, and then I can grab all the abilities I need on one of them.
С другой стороны, в принципе, в любой игре, ну, почти в любой, есть время фарма, и вот это оно в дальнейшем он будет просто бегать от босса к боссу, от босса к боссу.
Shoutouts to my names.
Brilliant pet names.
Yeah, Raws XD 1 and 2.
When's the earliest you can skip those?
You can actually hit.
Ooh, wow.
Ooh,
You
before it even
You
starts.
can do that, for example.
Yeah. You can skip it pretty early.
Frame perfect.
0-0.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
The timer didn't even show up that fast.
Довольно много, да.
0.93.
It's just getting worse and worse.
That's whack.
Yeah.
Но в основном они все одинаковые. Что для Соры, что для Рику отличаются лишь,
Check now.
если я ничего не путаю, финальные боссы в последнем мире.
Wow. Yeah, they are. Oh, 9-5 at the end. Also, shout outs to the music that you don't get to hear. On 3DS, you heard the song that plays in that a lot in this segment, and it's a song that goes la 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 for about as long as it possibly can.
Oh,
About a minute, I
it's,
think.
It's droning.
Ох, он будет это делать супер долго.
When you're not dealing with the whole
La.
3 meters.
Хотя, по идее, уже должен закончить.
The Dream Eater songs aren't amazing.
3 meters in general are kind of a lot of faff in this
Yeah.
game.
Он изучит темный барьер
Point short.
от лапинов и
Dream Eater for
Magic
you, everyone.
от
Yeah, the amount
Суданеку.
you
That
get
was
is like-
very disappointing.
The amount you get is random
yeah, it's
from
like
everyone.
plus 19.
Нет, КХ это в первую очередь экшен РПГ, это
So the reason-
экшен японская
so
РПГ,
the reason why we grab the abilities from-
и как экшены она
Dream Eater,
очень
the
крутая.
ones that stay in our party, is because the 2 magic lapins can learn an ability later in the game called Spirit Roar that pretty much doubles your damage if they cast it on you.
Не-не, фарм будет длиться минут... Ну, и по идее, он должен был уже закончить фарм, по идее. Вот, но долго возится. Ну, здесь абсолютный рандом, на самом деле, в том плане, что эти водяные бочки, они дают определенное количество очков для прокачки. И если вам повезет, то эта бочка даст вам много очков, а если вам не повезет, то бочка даст мало очков, и это будет очень долго. Нет, он сейчас понаставит приемов и все, и пойдет убивать первого босса. Все.
Nothing resists it, nothing blocks it, it does a million damage, it's great.
Oh, and something else about this game is you can skip the intros of boss fights, which is pretty good. I don't know why you can do that in this game. It's the only game in the series where you can skip the boss intros. So.
Ну, и он будет просто спамить баллунгу, и все.
All the balloons.
Look at that. See, one hit, half a bar. Another hit, another half a bar. That's it. That's balloon round.
So, balloons all day.
Dream Troop Distance, как и Burst by Sleep, они, в принципе, для спидрана довольно унылые, но если людям нравится спидранить подобное, сидеть и задрачивать эти игры, пожалуйста.
Yeah, for some reason, all the bosses in this game are like painted in clown colors for some reason. That boss is called...
Получили новый Keyblade.
And...
He knows the law.
Yes, I do. I don't know why they're painted like clowns, but I at least know the names of the things I'm killing.
И теперь отправляемся в следующую связку миров. И первым из миров будет у нас... А, нет, он решил дроп сделать, окей.
Or some sort of like spell element that like nothing in the game
It
seems
doesn't
to resist.
have an it just straight up doesn't have an element. It just straight up doesn't have an element.
Lacks
in
an
this
element entirely.
Yeah, it just doesn't have an element
Brilliant.
in this game.
So nothing resists it because it can't be resisted by default.
Yes. Nothing can resist it in this game.
Okay. I thought it was just an element that didn't have any.
Теперь тот же самый босс будет за
No,
Рику.
it just doesn't have. It just doesn't have an element, so nothing can resist it. And we did try other commands in this game, but there's only basically the only ones that are useful are ones that complement Balloon, and those are very few and far between. We do grab a couple in the run, but Balloon is so strong that it's pointless in using anything.
Английский чат, кстати,
There is a balloon
тоже прям
category for this game,
радует.
and in that category you grab all the windmill commands and you spin on all the enemies.
Like, that's how you know something is really way too good when they have to create a separate category that's just don't use that thing. No balloons.
But instead use something that's just as good.
Hey man,
It highlights the problem with speedrunning, really. Don't use this really powerful thing and everyone just defaults to the next most powerful thing.
so I'm just so... Well, Riku has to go fight a version of Hokamonkey now. So... Because the way this game works, both Sora and Riku go through the same worlds, but they're kind of parallel versions of each other, where different things can happen, but there's a couple of instances...
В основном будут вот такие вот перемещения между локациями.
And I kill those enemies to... Yeah.
Он поднимает уровень, чтобы было чуть побольше силы и магии. С другой стороны, сила, в принципе, не нужна. Вам требуется только магия. У этой игры есть определенные проблемы, что если у вас не хватает уровня, то никакие способности не дамажат, кроме балунры. А так как это спидран, и вряд ли бы он качался, то он использует балунру.
That hasn't budged an inch in 5 years. No. We actually have an EXP route for this game now.
Real routing.
Because
Revolution.
Yeah, because 3DS was limited to 2 saves.
Yeah, that makes routing that thing kind of difficult.
Yeah. Oh, so this is the second Hokamonkey fight. The area for this boss is atrocious.
Super awkward. Like, you dodge roll anywhere, you hit the wall, you accidentally activate flow motion, and the next thing you know, you're on the other side of a known universe. Boing.
So that stuns him and gives you enough time to...
Балунра.
So much damage. And the balloons, like, they track as well. Like, watch that balloon. Look at him go. He's got it. They track.
They home in on enemies as well.
They track across the screen. It's so good.
Welcome to DDD, guys. You balloon and they follow everywhere.
Кстати, в последний день этот же человек, он будет спидранить еще Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep и старую Терру.
Try and home in on enemies, but they will sometimes pop on walls and things like that. So you want to make sure that when you use a balloonra, you are either going to hit the enemy right away, or your balloons aren't going to pop on walls. So you need to understand.
На этом первый мир закрыт, и вот теперь мы точно полетели, ну, раннер точно полетит в мир Эсмеральды.
There are a few fights where the enemy is grounded, right? So you can sort of stand right next to them and use balloons.
You can stand right next to them and like you can pop balloons right on them, which does an insane amount of damage.
Right.
So yeah, this is the first dive boss, Queen Buzzerfly, and there is a 1 cycle that I'll be going for.
Он надеется, что сможет убить босса за один цикл, за один круг, чтобы это было быстрее. Посмотрим, получится ли у него это. Второй стрим, в смысле второй стрим. Ну, и помимо Dream Drop Distance я буду комментить еще Final Fantasy 9 и Birth by Sleep. Второй стрим вроде бы как не освещается. Вроде бы как.
So you need under a 1. I only know this one because you have to know what you need to get for a 2 cycle to be able to get an A rank. You need under like it's 120 or something you need to get. So with a 2 cycle you do cut it kind of close. If like you mess up twice then you don't get an A rank.
So what happens if you don't get an A rank?
You miss out on a Keyblade at the end of the game.
Мы переодеваем Keyblade, который дает нам больше магии, который нам так необходимо для спамы балунры, и отправляемся в храм знакомиться с Квазимодо.
And it's either 3 because you decide I'm just going to YOLO the bosses, or it's 3 because you have to grind for 3 minutes to get 2 level ups.
Oh, jeez.
So basically you reset.
Yeah, basically
so A ranks are very, very important.
Не, ну может быть я докомментирую 9-ю финалку, потому что 9-я финалка, она лишь 5 часов, хотя полноценный ран 9.
And this game's not like KH2 where if you just enter the room, you have the save. You actually have to touch the save, otherwise it doesn't unlock.
Лишь.
So this next boss here is Wargoyle. We're not fighting him yet. We just have to run away from him for some reason. So he's basically shooting a bunch of attacks at us, and we just have to get to the end of this bridge.
Здравствуй, Зарабит.
Bit short, that's fine. And after this, we go into a little town segment where we basically do the same thing. We're just running away from Wargoyle. And we have to just, there's a bit of debris that we have to destroy, which takes 7 hits, and Balloonra is exactly 7 hits, so you just go into it. Balloonra.
It's so good. It's 7 hits, Balloonra, 7 hits. It's perfect. It's the perfect tool.
Now balloons can now completely destroy construction.
Yes.
Which is fantastic.
Yes. So that's the end of this segment here. There's a save point that pops up right in front of you, right after this bit. Which we
Как я уже и говорил, локации в этой игре, они просто гигантские. И путешествовать по ним — это сущий кошмар, на самом деле.
You knew what the story was about and everything. Like the fact that you have to walk back to this place.
Yeah.
You go back and forth, you follow the Disney movies. You ever seen The Hunchback of Notre Dame? It's that. That's the point of it.
Он возвращается в собор и будет сражаться с боссом. С тем самым драконом, от которого он сбегал. Спокойной ночи, Стилборн. Сладких сновидений.
You fight Wargoyle instead, which is a I once heard it called candy fruit bat or something. I heard it called once.
Okay. He gets all up in that girl.
Да нет, кстати, на PlayStation 4 загрузки очень быстрые. Вот, если бы вы попытались спидранить, допустим, вторую часть на PS3, вот загрузки там, они просто по часу. Даже формы загружаются прям в бою, ну, секунд 10. Это супер долго. Потрясающий ран. Easy clap.
So yeah, that was a fight that didn't go too well, and it still took about 20 seconds because of balloon.
Yeah. Well, there's nowhere for balloons really to pop in that area, so it's fairly easy to.
You can't really whiff them in wide open spaces like that. They'll find their mark eventually. They might take a very circuitous route to it, but they'll hit it.
Следующий мир для посещения, скорее всего, будет Грид. Мир трона. Правда, это второй трон, это уже не первый. Нет, у меня издание по отдельности. У меня 1.5 и 2.5 и 2.8. Третью часть я даже еще пока не предзаказал.
You can just mash X to get to the end. There is no reason to collect anything or dodge anything or try anything. You can just sit at the bottom. There's only one prize pod to collect in this. It's only a time that you need, and if you're mashing X, you get it every time. See, even the bricks move out of your way.
Yeah, they move out. That's very polite.
Yeah. Look, there is only one prize pod right at the end.
С другой стороны, в принципе, для одного прохождения Dream Drop Distance, почему бы и нет? Почему бы и не пройти, скажем так?
No, because you can't. You have to go through that thing.
Oh wow. Okay. The hitboxes are quite generous as well for those.
Мои любимые гоночки против босса. На 3DS эта игра вышла в 2012, если я не путаю ничего.
Kind of like an auto scroller. You just I think it's like you have to complete like a lap and a half of this entire thing. So if you have any donations, this would be a good time because I'm just mashing square.
Yeah, I have a $5 donation from James H saying, "Love what you're all doing there. Please make sure to remind all the glorious viewers that their Twitch Prime free subscriptions can be put to a great cause. I wish everyone good luck with the runs and also all the staff who make this whole process flow. Cheers from the USA." Thank you very much for that donation.
Yeah, we actually
Врагов здесь можно убивать, либо стреляя по ним, либо нужно проезжать перед ними, и тогда их след дамажит. Ну, думаю, кто смотрел Трон или играл в GTA, они в курсе.
When it decides that you can move on, it spawns a boss, which you do actually need to kill. So hopefully you'll do it in a minute. Lovely. You lose a slight bit of time if you get hit by the laser thing at the back of the orange bikes, but not too much at all.
Ну, в GTA же вроде как в 5-й есть режим, в котором вы катаетесь на мотиках, и вот такая фигня. Если я ничего не путаю, конечно. Теперь босс-файт.
To hit the enemies as well. Yeah. So we're going to see that a little bit here. Rebel knows the position that the boss is going to come in, so he just stands in front of it, and the blue laser does a lot of damage. And then when he goes in front, he's going to be pressing X to use Assault Shot and to get extra damage in. Yeah.
Jump slightly to avoid getting hit there, because sometimes it can stop you from shooting. And yeah, sometimes the boss will do this, where he'll get too far away from you to laser. And it should be fine now. So he should be dead in a second.
Nice.
There we go. Nice. You want to kill him before he gets around that corner, because if he gets around that corner, he'll dash behind you again, and then you have to do the wait for him to catch up to you again. And he kind of just he flies off.
Don't even kill him. You don't even get the satisfaction of seeing him disappear.
А я вот Трон, кстати, и не осеял. Фильм имею в виду. Я начинал, но что-то я смотрел, и что-то как-то было скучно, и я такой, нет, хватит.
And I changed my Keyblade there because this Keyblade has a higher magic stat. I didn't mean to go there. I need to go to the top one.
And magic is the only relevant statistic. Strength. Does strength ever come up?
Yes, it does.
Okay, I'm not.
Because we have rooted in the use of one of the attacks that you can do with your Dream Eaters called Comet. And when your strength is high enough, you can basically play entire fights with enemies in no time at all.
Yeah, you nuke the room, which we'll see a little bit later.
It's basically a screen nuke. And yep, so this force fight is using balloon. There's a lot of walls that your balloons can pop on here, so you got to make sure that you're using them in the correct places. After a certain number of enemies are killed, the next wave will spawn. After.
Но если кто не в курсе, то первый Трон, если я не ошибаюсь, он был снят еще в 80-х. Именно первый Трон. А второй, его снимали где-то уже в 10-м или в 9-м он вышел. И вот здесь вот именно вторая часть, а первая часть в Kingdom Hearts 2.
So now there's a bit of movement that you got to do, and then you get shown the reality shift for this world, which is kind of like a mini game that most worlds have. And those guns are very annoying. They can stun lock you and kill you very easily.
Zoom, enhance, hack the matrix.
Yes, so the position of those words on the screen and the button that you have to press to activate them are random each time. So you just have to pay close attention to the buttons that come up.
Yeah. Try not to look like an idiot by pressing the wrong button too many times, because otherwise it kicks you out of the minigame.
You can just enter it straight away again, but it's just sort of like a stern finger wag, like, no, hit the buttons.
Ну, так как я являюсь, скажем так, любителем, ну, или ценителем, или уж совсем грубо фанатом Kingdom Hearts, у меня есть идея или план посмотреть все там мультфильмы Диснея, которые показаны в Kingdom Hearts. Трону тоже посмотреть. Но как представлю, сколько всего мне придется смотреть, это же супер много. В каждой игре там миров по 10. Ну, хотя они и повторяются, но тем не менее.
In Japanese, the circle button attacks, but in this game it jumps, and you can't jump and you can't attack and use a command at the same time, so it doesn't get eaten. But in English, you can jump and command at the same time, so it eats commands. so like sometimes you'll see me like throw out a guard before I use a reality shift, or try and hover over a command that's recharging before I use it to make sure that something that might be useful at a later point isn't easy.
Да, там есть персонажи из финалок, но я все финалки так проходил, ну, почти все. Там персонажи из 7-й финалки, из 8-й финалки, из 9-й финалки, из 10-й финалки.
And now he disappears.
He's like, I'm not going up there, I'll just leave him.
That guy chases you down pretty hard. He doesn't care. He's like, I will find you. So this takes you to where the boss of this area is, which is actually the boss that we faced in the light cycle bit, but we actually get to kill him this time. So, and this is one of the only instances of a boss in the Cage series that has basically hard HP gates that you have to use reality shifts or some kind of external thing to get past.
Снова деремся с паучихой, с осой. На Прауде, кстати, она довольно жесткая. 2 атаки пропускаешь и ваншот.
So one thing about the balloon command is once the balloons are out, you want to get hit at the end of the animation.
Это Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance в переиздании для PS4. Ну, кстати, по интервью Намуры он говорит, что разработка ремейка FF7 идет как запланировано, так что скоро.
This is the second HP gate. I'll be over in a second. And you notice every time
Я вот жду, не дождусь, пока смогу увидеть, как Клауд вместе с мужиками моется. Они обещали, что они это вырезать не будут. Как поправить.
Start flying around or hit the boss like straight away.
As soon as you hit that HP gate.
Yeah. So that was Riku's grid.
Easy boss.
So next is it's kind of Riku's shortest world. It's a bit of movement and then you fight a boss, which is his version of Frank's Paradise, which if you've played KH1 is basically the same as that. You're inside.
И теперь отправляемся в Pranker Paradise, в мир Пиноккио.
Bit like Deja Vu if you played the first game.
But with more balloons.
But with more balloons. It's more of a party in this game.
I wouldn't call it that personally, but...
Нет, ну по идее он не из этих, но в секторе 6 там есть такая сценка.
For A ranking this dive, you actually get a ballooner command, so
ну и плюс он еще же и этот переодеваться любит в женщин. Как поправить?
It doesn't matter, but for the Keyblade at the end of the game that we get, you need to have done it as you need to have A ranked all of them as each of the characters individually. So the A rank rewards are different to the full A rank reward for some reason. That should be enough from these guys.
If I had to say anything about this game, like these dives are really quite creative and interesting.
They're very colorful.
Так как его шкала подходит, в игре есть шкала дропа, и если она опускается, то игра тебя автоматически перебрасывает на другого персонажа. И так как шкала у Рику почти опустилась,
we do have a Curaga, which
Вот, он переключится на Сору.
I put it on in the grid because I used to do that bit cureless, but then I spent too many runs dying.
Нет, он решил продолжить. Окей.
Because they won't give it to you, and they'll just keep shooting you, and you can't.
Мы находимся, кстати, внутри
we will have
монстра
Curaga,
сейчас.
Later on we'll have a Curaga and a Cura as well. So we can use those intermittently when our health goes down lower than we wanted to.
Balloons and healing. You heal when you don't use balloons, so you can use more balloons.
You could say you're using healing.
Не, ну, Линк, ну, смотри, например, Линк, он у тебя вряд ли ассоциируется с тем, что он такой брутальный мужик, вот, и который спасает, ну, спасает мир, конечно, да, но тем не менее, а Клауд-то? Просто представь Клауда в женской одежде. И если в оригинальной игре это еще смотрелось, то как он будет смотреться в переиздании? Это же прям... Мне супер интересно, как они это сделают. Он потерялся.
But there are walls everywhere that you can flow motion off of. So, and they're in very enclosed spaces. Okay, that's fine. So this next boss is Char Clawster, something he's called. His name has just escaped me for no reason.
Char Clawster.
Довольно противный босс, кстати, опять-таки на Прауде.
So I'm just going to run up to him and balloon him in the face.
Он от вас постоянно убегает, и нужно его постоянно преследовать.
What I'm looking for is a reality shift to appear.
Да, это будет прямо полноценный ремейк.
You just have to press X. On the 3DS, you had to do a little mini game where you sprayed him with water until he got stunned. In this, you just press X and he suddenly just falls over. Oh, you don't usually get to reality shifts. So, that was pretty good RNG.
Nice.
That was a really good fight for no overcast. I should probably explain what overcast is.
Они вначале рассказывали то, что хотят игру поделить на эпизоды, но вот в последнее время либо просто пока не хотят делиться, либо умалчивают об эпизодах. Может быть, откажутся в принципе. По идее, первый эпизод, он должен был закончиться после того, как мы отправляемся на корабле на другой континент. По идее. Зал пустой, потому что утро. Сейчас всего лишь 7 утра. Я не думаю, что, допустим, ты бы захотел, проснувшись утром, идти куда-то. Ну, а в Швеции 7 утра. Вот он, кстати, переключился на Сору, и Сора теперь тоже посетит эти же самые миры. Теперь два мира Смиральды, потом Грид и потом Панкстерс Парадайз.
You bought one drop decelerator on the...
Yes, I brought a drop decelerator because it was there.
It was there.
Because I could.
It slows down the drop gauge so you don't drop out automatically, but like really, you don't need it. You have plenty of time to complete Sora's Ring of Worlds.
Yeah. It's like there because in this world, if you spend too much time in the caves bit,
Экипируем новый Keyblade.
You might have a chance of dropping in the boss rush fight at the end of Sora's bit, but you don't usually. I just grab it because it's like
И так как у нас есть теперь супер полет, то прыгать не придется, просто полетим.
This is Comet. I'll show you the animation.
Oh, there's Comet. He's posing on him. He's posing on him.
You can skip that animation, but I just thought I just thought.
Yeah, no, I wanted to see that.
I just thought you needed to enjoy.
Got a million level ups out of that as well.
Yes, you do. EXP in this game, when you actually get it, is really, really high. Because instead of giving you a lot of force fights, they expected you to go around killing a bunch of enemies for EXP. And so they made EXP yields really, really high in this game. Which makes getting to the required levels really, really easy. Oh, and by the way, I'm now using Super Glider Sora because it's slightly faster than slow motion in most situations. Slow motion would be slightly faster in some rooms, but Super Glide is just easier to control. Oh, nice cutscene skip.
Кстати, сейчас вот в финалках такой эпизод, когда последняя часть вышла уже, ну я не знаю, сколько, 15 уже, почти 2 года, вот, а до сих пор новая все еще не была анонсирована. Ну, не знаю, как по мне, то 15 гораздо хуже, чем это же самое 13. Да, там есть открытый мир, но она ужасна. Ну, опять-таки, это вкусовщина.
There's 3 of them that spawn. This fight is actually kind of dangerous because they can poison you, and being as low a level as you are, because you don't kill anything unneeded in this run.
Ну, у Square Enix вот-вот выйдет Dragon Quest 11. Уже, если я не ошибаюсь, то 4 сентября, а потом зимой 29-го Kingdom Hearts 3 появится, так что я бы не сказал, что они прям в плохом положении. Плюс у них еще всякие там Ларри Крофт есть и так далее.
Notre Dame until the end of the world, and you don't have to do that yourself. It automatically transfers you there. Yeah, his bridge is a little bit faster because Super Glide is faster. I was hitting the top of different boxes and things there to maintain height.
Если раньше, допустим, Square Enix это были исключительно японские проекты, то теперь у них там и Ларки есть, и еще какие-то проекты есть, Deus Ex есть. Хотя последняя часть продалась не очень, но... Ну, ибо у нее были проблемы. Но, тем не менее. Вышел вот Octopus для Switch'а, и он пользуется просто супер популярностью в Японии, допустим.
Thanks, Sora. Which is over here. And what the goo does is it basically ups your drop gauge, so it depletes faster.
So it'll drop you out to Riku, at which point the game will go, no, you still need to complete Sora, and then we'll forcibly drop you back to Sora anyway.
Yeah. Well, you have to drop yourself, but the game...
You can't progress.
You can't progress
just drop back immediately.
Yeah.
The drop system's interesting in like concept, but in execution it results in just sort of you hit a wall of progress, you drop to one character, and then you accidentally drop back at some point, and the game just goes, go back.
This game's kind of a mesh of good ideas that are just executed really badly, to be honest.
Harsh, but not untrue.
Но в то же время, кстати, например, многие не особо в восторге от Октопуса. Файт с драконом снова. То есть это не дракон, это горгулья. Да, прошу прощения. Все, easy game, easy life. Easy clap.
You may have noticed that during that fight he didn't have Kiraga down in the bottom left in his command menu, and I'm assuming that's because Riku and Sora have different ones.
They have different commands.
Следующий мир будет Pranker's Paradise. Скорее всего, если я ничего не путаю.
Well, the will
isn't necessary at the moment.
It's not necessary, no, but you can very easily die because it's just such low level for the whole game. And well, the order of we actually do Sora's worlds in a different order because in Sora's grid there's a boss fight and a boss fight alone. So we go to Pranker's Paradise first to get to level 7, and then we go and fight the boss in the grid. And it's actually one of the only changes that I made in this game. Because one day I was looking at my splits and I was thinking, why do we go to the grid when there are no fights there and fight a boss that could be
Ну,
faster
сейчас
and
Square
higher
Enix, она будет
level?
очень,
And everyone was like,
очень напирать именно на третью часть Kingdom Hearts.
and by the way,
Потому что это
no means the best fight in
такая
the game.
супер большая игра, в которую вложено много денег.
You ruined this game's balance. Why do you do this?
И, в принципе, что в Японии, что в Штатах Kingdom Hearts очень любят. Поэтому я уверен, что с продажами все у Square Enix отлично будет.
Do you think the game was giving you speedrun tips during this drop? Because it keeps saying faster and showing you balloons. It's telling you to use the balloon command.
It's a subliminal message.
Yeah.
They knew. They were aware of the power of balloon wrap. Now I can just stay in the middle and mash X to the end.
And as you saw, the timer stopped after he collected the amount of balloons, not when he reached the final goal time there.
Yeah, that's one of the
А вдруг они оставили пение под конец, кто знает.
You have the required goal, but that isn't the required goal for the A rank. So you just need to know what you need to collect.
Потому что в самой игре есть мир симфонии. Так что, с другой стороны, там нет песен.
And then after I've done the next force fight, I will then put on the other Balloonra and a Kyuraga. Thanks. So this fight's notorious among most DD runners because there's a move that these Jester Bokis can do that freezes you in place, and you can't move again until you A, get hit, or the timer on the freeze runs out, which is an incredibly long amount of time. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I know that when you enter this world, the combat level was 18.
Yes, you're meant to be level
Лару
18.
Крофт, кстати, текущую, которая там тень или как-то так называется, ее делает та студия, которая делает Deus Ex, а сами эти из основной серии, они разрабатывают абсолютно новую Лару.
So now I'm going to edit my deck because there's just movement to the next fight. So by the time I get to the next fight, the commands are charged. And there's a cutscene I need to go and activate, which is just up here. And then I can go to the next bit. Drop off into Super Glide. No need to jump. So Riku gets so what I like about Princess Paradise in this game is Riku gets kind of like the nostalgia one, but Sora gets.
Как же он быстро перемещается с помощью глайда.
So Sora gets to go to the island, like the more island part of it with the amusement park on it, while and see a lot more of this world because the world's actually quite the maps are actually kind of big in this game on the bigger worlds. It's one of the main pluses of this game, but the issue is flow motion is like so. Wow, the combo.
That was a setup.
The worlds are kind of the maps are big, but flow motion is kind of makes them all feel very very small. So it kind of makes a lot of stuff feel a bit pointless.
Right, and Super Glide is actually really well done in this game, to where it flows super well. And whenever you touch the
Больше
ground,
шаров.
stop and land, which
Еще
feels like
больше
it's
шаров.
supposed to. So they really focused on the fluidity of
Nice.
with Super Glide and flow motion in this game, which makes for fast speedrun.
And Balloon helps immensely. And that's the last panda.
I need another one.
Right. I didn't hit level 7. You usually don't, because during the Willflower fight, sometimes your Dream Eaters will kill a couple of the little ones that are around and give you a little bit of extra EXP. But it doesn't matter. There's a panda that spawns that we just kill with a Balloonra. Going up this path.
Многие от Square Enix ожидают еще Хитмана, но Хитман ушел Они выкупили акции и ушли от Square Enix. Так что Hitman теперь больше не Square Enix.
So yeah, as powerful as Balloon is, you saw there that if you target a different enemy or if you hit it against a wall, then it may not do as much damage.
Нет, первые две были именно от них. Вот, как он называется? 2011 или 2012, и вот потом еще. Это было от Square Enix, но теперь уже нет. Да-да-да.
Because as Punchy mentioned earlier, the damage scaling in this game is really, really harsh.
Really harsh.
Right, so I'm going to flow motion around here. There's actually an unskippable cutscene that plays if you get too close to the ground on this bit. So I'm going to try and avoid it. I avoided it in that one. There's another one that can play in the bit after this as well. I love how high you jump underwater. So there's another one that can play here. The one here is like a good 10 seconds long. But this one's way easier to avoid because you can super glide. There's a door.
Boss fight.
So this is Sora's version of the giant lobster.
Доброе утро, Антидот.
Chill lobster.
Chill lobster.
Chill lobster.
A chill rabbit.
So usually he pushes you off. If you glide up there, you stay up on the platform here, and you can pop balloons on him. They do.
Больше баллонры.
Quicker. I'm gonna heal my Dream Eaters because they can actually die, and when they get knocked out, they enter a 30-second timer, and if that timer reaches 0, they disappear permanently.
So what do the Dream Eaters actually add to these battles right now?
Right now, they're literally useless.
Okay.
All they do is add Comet to certain force fights.
Oh, but if they die, they lose like
Есть еще, кстати, балунга. Вот, это сперва огромный шар, он разбивается, и из него потом летят маленькие. Но анимация очень долгая, и именно поэтому не используют балунгу, а используют именно балунгу.
So once you get to about this bit of the fight, the boss basically decides when he wants to enter the next phase. There you go.
This run is blessed by the chill lobster.
So you see this massive thing in the middle? This is actually Monstro frozen in ice. And now we're going to ride him in a big bubble. and go and finish the boss fight. There was actually, on the 3DS version, there was a glitch in that cutscene where sometimes it would just show you a wonderful portrait of the frozen Monstro, then it would cut to this, just cut to this bit when the cutscene was meant to be over. So now I'm going to just move around.
Теперь мы сражаемся верхом на монстра.
So I bait him to shoot in directions that I want him to, because if the lasers hit you, it pushes you back. And this bit's actually on a time limit. So if you don't finish this fast enough, it pushes you back into the fight, and the boss regains some health. And then you have to then you have to wait for him to end the fight again, and it's just slow. So when the finish command lights up.
Ну, лутбоксы в большом количестве стран признаются азартными играми, поэтому, может быть, и выпиливают.
Say you get very close to him with a bubble, and then apparently the crab doesn't like water and just dies immediately.
Yes. Bubble, when you think about it, basically a water balloon. You know?
Но дополнение это не казино, типа, скажем так, это не азартная игра. Поэтому.
Well, I hope Kingdom Hearts 3 has Balloon Rush. I just use it throughout the entire game.
I don't, that's whack.
Ну и теперь мы наконец отправляемся в грид.
I think the game director was trying to say something when the balloons were designed and implemented.
I'm not sure he was.
I'm not sure. I
don't know, maybe.
What was he trying to say?
Maybe he's got some sort of secret balloon addiction that he was trying to...
That's true. Yeah.
Maybe he spends like...
Проблема дополнений в том, что, ну, на мой взгляд, что после того, как вы уже пройдете игру, скорее всего, там спустя год вам уже вряд ли захочется в нее вернуться, даже если она, скажем так, неплохая.
In the boss fights with Brawler Mario. Thanks, bro. Which is this squid thing. Sora's one's fairly easy. If you don't get 2-cycle on this boss, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Don't miss it now, otherwise I'm gonna make fun of you.
Didn't you miss this on the run I watched a few days ago?
That was Brawl Molly 2, where the 2-cycle was 100% random.
Oh, okay.
Excuses.
So basically, if you get hit by that move there, he doesn't stay stunned in front of you, and then you can't get this. And then if you don't finish this fight in the 2 cycles, you don't get an A rank. You just flat, it doesn't give it to you.
Найс. Потом будет подобный босс, но у него уже будет 2 фазы.
It always gives you A rank and then just enough points to get it.
What do you get for the A rank for that one?
Easy A rank.
Do you get anything for it?
No. Because because I got the reward from Riku's one.
Right, yeah.
Those rewards are shared, but for
The
some
overall
reason
one is
Dive Wing
different.
isn't.
Yeah.
Dive Wing is not shared. This world has got the best music in the game, honestly.
It's really good.
Like, I forgot to mention it, but the music for Light Cycle is the best part of. Oh, thanks, Sora. I was slightly
There's that flow motion triggering, just sort of touching the rail. I was like, nope, snapping onto that now. It's become Tony Hawk.
Yep. This is one of the instances where I use flow motion to Sora because it's faster than landing and super gliding. Oh, that's where you get counter rush. No.
No.
You do not guard anything, Sora, really.
Never block it. No, of course not. Blocking takes time away from casting balloon. How could I be so foolish?
So, Riku kind of just got teleported to the end of the transport bit with the Solar Sailor, but Sora
Миры в игре, как я, наверное, уже повторюсь раз в 5-й, супер большие, поэтому путешествия длятся очень долго. Я даже не знаю, что тебе сказать. Сора просто бегает туда-сюда. Проблема этой игры, в ней нет каких-то прикольных механик, игровых еще. Допустим, в отличие от той же первой или второй части, где можно было бы объяснить механики. Здесь только спам баллонра идет. Поэтому...
We no longer collect any more balloons. We do not need more.
Have a way to bind custom buttons so you can have more options to do balloon run.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the amount of magic hastes that we put on from the start of the game that we got in the bubble mini games. We have all 5 available to us. So the commands in the bottom left are refreshing very quickly.
Literally everything about the way you build is geared to use Balloon Ra as often as you physically can and never ever stop using, because by the time you've used the final Balloon Ra, the first one's recharged and you can just loop.
Boss fight.
And for anyone wondering why it's Balloon Ra and not the final upgrade of Balloon Ga,
Balloon Ra is
actually better for some reason.
Oh yeah, I forget that Balloon Gar exists because it's just not good.
No, yeah. I think what the individual balloons are bigger, but they just do less damage for some reason.
Баллоны, баллонры и еще раз баллонры. Easy fight.
What this boss Rinsler can do is he can stand in front of you and hit you out of basically every single balloon cast, and the fight is over in like 3 seconds.
Сюжет в Kingdom Hearts, он цельный, поэтому это не как и финалки, где каждая часть — это отдельная история, ну, не считая там 10-2 или 13-2. Вот, поэтому, наверное, лучше не стоит спойлерить, вдруг есть те, кто захочет в Kingdom Hearts самостоятельно поиграть. К тому же, как я уже сказал, это последняя часть перед третьей частью.
Back into Notre Dame, it showed the different save points, but when you visit Traverse Town again, it goes, would you like to dive or visit world? You must always remember to go down to visit world. Put on dual disc, and then I'm going to check. No, I don't have it. So I check there to see if I have an overcast on Sora's next one. If it's not there I don't drop for it. If it's there, I'll drop for it, because overcast in this world saves on average about 40 seconds in the boss rush itself, which is very, very useful having overcast there.
Притом, кстати, сюжет в Kingdom Hearts особо не перескажешь, потому что он супер запутанный, он супер перепутанный, и как говорят в СНГ, без бутылки не разберешь.
Whiffing the giraffe sounds like a dumb move. Nice juggle.
Yeah, man. We put on the Keyblade I did there because it has a higher strength stat. If you don't put that Keyblade on, then Comet does no damage at all in that fight. It doesn't kill anything. It does like the tiniest amount of HP.
Хорошо.
That moves based on your strength, but most other things are based on your magic stat. And then shove Guardian Bell back on. We used to just go through the post office here, but I'm going to save warp. Not drop, save warp.
Drop.
Save warp.
Drop warp.
Drop warp. No. Saves a tiny. Well, I'm not sure how much time it saves because someone just told me to do it one day, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't ask how much time it saves. I was just like, oh, okay.
Hey, you don't know these things, man. Come on.
Теперь мы деремся уже со всеми предыдущими боссами. То есть это обезьяна, это горгулья, и это, если я не ошибаюсь, оса. И потом окажется, что их призвал некий босс-колдун, и придется еще против босса-колдуна драться. Если я ничего не путаю, конечно. А вот и колдун.
He just comes in and summons these bosses for you to fight again. So I'm going to time a Balloon here. Yes, I got it. And you can stun him.
Это на провод-моде. Это не так легко, как кажется, как может казаться, потому что комната супер маленькая, боссы занимают всю комнату, и любая атака может вас задеть. А учитывая, что 2000 и вы труп, наверное, один из моих самых нелюбимых файтов. Английский нет. И в основном это же Дисней.
I can't remember why he's called Tiny Rick, but he's Tiny Rick.
Swear to God, if that's supposed to be about Rick and Morty, I will agree.
Могут лишь запутать некоторые игровые, всякие там Heartless, Nobody там и прочее, вот такая вот местная терминология. Но английский там не сложный. Игра-то для детей. Доброе утро, кревета. Ну как, для детей относительно, потому что на высоких уровнях сложности игра прям дает прикурить.
Thanks to you saying Magic Rick, I'm now imagining Magic Mike, but as a lobster. So thank you very much for that. That was a deleted scene from Little Mermaid.
Также стоит сказать, что пока вы путешествуете по миру, то вы копите поинты, и потом за эти поинты вы можете усилить второго персонажа. Платина есть, да. Там же, считай, сборник из 6 проектов. Вот, именно 1.5 плюс 2.5. Так что там можно взять аж 4 платины.
But nearly level 10, in fact. And it's pretty good.
So Riku, like, we are like halfway-ish through the game. Level 4.
Yeah.
Level 4.
This game is kind of bad with how it does.
Нет, я бы сказал, что они долгие, чем сложные. Потому что в условиях платины нужно, например, взять 99 уровень на харде. Да, и придется на харде проходить для платины. В первой части есть ачивка на прохождение быстрее, чем 15 часов, так что придется и немножко спидранить. Ну, для, скажем так, для казуального игрока.
It's fine. I didn't mean to kill there.
Safety.
Safety cure. It's fine.
And level 8.
After killing 2 more enemies.
11 on your Dream Eaters.
There's level 9.
Was that 10? That wasn't quite 10.
No. You get 10. You get 10 in the next world. He has another fight where he gains about 5 levels in one fight.
Вторая часть у меня платина. В первую так и не взял. Ну, мне просто лень бегать и брать платины. Да не, и Нептуния не лучше. И Нептуния это какая-то порнография. Извините меня.
I might not mention this before, but whenever I've tried to fall down from heights, I try to fall down while I'm in flow motion, because your falling speed in flow motion is faster than your regular falling speed. I don't know why it's like that, but it just is.
Yeah, you drop like a rock out of flow motion.
Yeah. Yeah, but your regular falling speed is really slow in this game. Look, it likes to do a nice cinematic view of the...
Перед нами два диснеевских мира. Это мир трех мушкетеров и мир симфонии. И мы отправляемся в симфонию.
So he doesn't need...
canned, although combat level it says there 34. Current level 9.
Yes. So he has no force fights here, and the boss fight isn't really a boss fight. It's more of a mini game. So, and your strength doesn't matter in the boss fight. So please grab that. Thank you. Now laser spin everything. So I want to grab that. Thanks. So, this one wants you to defeat 30 enemies. That isn't actually that's required to beat the dive, but it's not. That isn't what the game tracks to give you the A rank. The game still tracks score and.
Здешний босс, это будет босс как в первой части. Чернобог.
You've still got to do good. And the reason why I wanted the Mega Flare is for this bit here. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, because you've got to go down that far anyway.
А вот у Сори босс в симфонии будет довольно противным.
Lovely. And one good thing about when there are enemies on screen, you actually go a little bit faster because you dash towards the enemy and then through them a little bit. So, oh, and we get a 0. No, we don't need that. We sell that actually. Now we are in Symphony of Sorcery, which is the world based on Fantasia. This world used to get all the VODs muted back on 3DS.
So this is the world that we should be commentating the most because of the music.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, we'll just be ranking all the songs out of 10.
Oh, right, okay.
There will be a lot of mini games where you have to press a certain specific button. As we will see here, Rebel has to press X a few times.
Rhythm game.
And he actually ends up missing one of those because he doesn't actually have to hit every single button.
А что если Юри мафиозные драконы? Вот так вот.
It's very optimal to be bad at music.
You miss like one and it skips like one explosion animation or something, and that saves the time. Although there's a couple, the longer ones, I remember bugging you about this because like, can you miss 2 and get away with it? Does it still work? And you were like, no. And then I got you to try it, and you were like, actually, yeah, it does.
It depends on how many things there are there.
Yeah, on the long ones, but it's still like, I wouldn't risk it.
I forgot how many there were there. It doesn't really matter if you do it or not. It's just a very, very good meme.
0.4 seconds lost. Shameful.
Shameful display.
Shameful. Can't be associated with a run like this.
I like how you meant to like unlock the little grind rail before you can go get that chest. but you can just flow motion up there and grab it earlier.
Yeah, flow motion has the effect of sort of messing with the environmental puzzles like that, because you can kind of just scale anything relatively infinitely.
Yeah, up to this point we haven't had anything in our command menu apart from Balloonra and Curaga, but that Zero Gravizer that we just picked up will be used at some point throughout this run.
Whiff.
I press square to make sure I do not press it.
He presses square.
I pressed the wrong button deliberately to make sure I don't press it.
You press the circle with corners.
Yes, yes.
There's an enemy like tracking you during the cutscene.
Yes, the Ryu dragons go ham on you during the cutscene.
Музыка потрясающая.
These things make a lovely sound when you go up them.
They drop money as well.
Yes, they do.
I never
This
noticed
is
that.
actually is fun fact. This is where you can grind money in this game. On money days, on the money forecast, you can go there and just run around in circles and get about 500 money in about a minute.
There's a specific weather forecast, which is money.
Yes, it gives you more money.
I wish we had that weather forecast in real life more often.
They do. It's called a fortune cookie.
Forecast. Oh no.
So the game shows you that little grind rail over there because you're meant to go and take that. But you can just flow motion up this wall here and skip it completely.
You don't got to do anything like that. Just climb the wall. Just go around it, Lamau. Why even bother?
Bad.
I find it really funny how you with the last note to go like slightly faster.
Minimal time
It's
save.
peak speedrunning is to completely ruin the moment just to go slightly quicker.
The song was going so well, and you missed the final note.
I mean,
Was that really worth 0.4
I mean,
seconds?
it doesn't actually change the song that's being
По-моему, это
played.
последняя штука перед боссом.
It dampens the mood.
И сейчас будет босс Чернобог, но босс будет не обычный файт, как, можно сказать, привыкли спамить Баллунрой, а будет такая мини-игра, где нужно долететь, до него ударить его, и потом снова до него долететь и снова ударить.
And you're about to see one of the only points in the game where every category does exactly the same damage, and that's the 1 bar of damage per hit. Level 1 does this damage on this fight. This fight always takes 3 phases, and he throws more and more stuff at you with every phase. What he throws at you now is phantoms. If you've ever played KH1, there was a secret boss known as Phantom. He throws them at you, and they
На пути будет появляться все больше и больше всяких препятствий, скажем так. Он будет в вас кидать все больше и больше всякого мусора. Но, в принципе, ничего сложного. И еще один раз.
So, final one, he throws white phantoms at you, which are a lot faster, and they drain your HP a lot faster. So usually with the first set of them, I just tend to avoid them. But with these guys, because of the situations he puts you in, I do that to make sure that I can avoid them. It's slightly slower than just straight dodging them in that bit, but it's worth it to not be slowed down by them. Also, shout outs to the music in this fight.
Hell yeah.
7 out of 10?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
И
Giving me the path to
все,
victory.
nice.
Straight down the middle.
Easy fight, easy game, easy life.
And another reason why we do that fight now is because the Keyblade you get from this
Теперь мы
one
отправимся
very, very
в
high
страну
magic
трех
value.
мушкетеров.
It speeds up the world after this one. Very, very much so. It's way faster than using Guardian Bell, which is the Keyblade that we have on. Yep, so.
Where are we dropping now?
We are diving.
Ставим вместо одной баллунры
That distinction, didn't you?
Yes, because dropping and diving are
Зеру Гравизу, чтобы поднимать. Это такой аналог
Comic book pages.
магнита с предыдущей части.
If you've ever seen the film of this,
Ну, перед этим, конечно же, босс,
beginning bit,
осьминожек,
where the turtle's reading
из
the
двух фаз.
comic strip on the TV show. It's kind of what this world's based off of. It's based off of that film, and a lot of the aesthetics are kind of comic book style to pay homage to that.
I was straight up not aware that this was even based on a movie.
And this is, again, the second
Have
Brawl
you never
Amari
seen the
fight.
Three Musketeers?
I have not, no.
And the second Brawl Amari fight is where the 2-cycle is
Ну, так здесь
considerably
игра
more
скучная
difficult and,
It's
random.
random.
So-
для
It
спидрана,
saves 40 seconds
на самом
to
деле.
get it, but it's completely random if you do get it.
You're gonna get it. I'm
I'm
saying.
not-
И люди, может быть, в 3 часа-то и не спали, смотрели, а теперь спать пошли.
And this is not the 2-cycle we're talking about, that bit there.
I got excited for a moment.
He turns around and shows he's double-sided for some reason.
Били его по лицу, теперь будем бить его по жопке.
And there are 3 little orbs in that kind of mouth at the front that you've got to destroy. So what he'll do is he'll open the mouth to do like a laser attack. Well, it's more like a field attack. But the game very kindly spawns some rocks for you to hide behind. So it doesn't matter which one of these I go to first. I usually go to top left. I don't know why, but top left is usually where I go. And
You're in it, man.
And although it is vaguely possible to control where you're hitting, a lot of the time it will just kind of randomly send you to one of the other
yes,
orbs.
Yeah.
I actually controlled myself doing that time. I managed to move myself in the optimal directions.
So you went from the top left down and then right, and this time you go from the top right, I'm guessing?
No,
and then
no, no.
down?
Dush, dush, dush.
Okay. So you killed the first crystal on the top left.
Yes. And what should happen is you kill the next 2 fairly quickly. Oh, they have the rocks. There we go. Good spawn RNG.
Good rock RNG.
And
И... Найс.
Come on, man.
Оу,
No.
не повезло.
the game. No.
Одна тычка прошла мимо, и все. Придется ждать еще раз. Never lucky, как говорится.
You'll see why this saves. Why it saves 40 seconds is because he goes through like
The whole of the path.
3 different attacks, and he does this attack which is extremely long, but it's so easy to dodge. You stand in the middle and do this. Right. So the third field attack, the rocks don't stay still; they move. So you've got to kind of move with them. And if you get hit by this attack at all,
Найс.
you can't actually attack any of that, and you automatically lose the A rank. And if you do that on the final one, well,
That's a lot of time lost.
That's a lot
That's
of time
about 3
lost.
minutes lost.
well, that's if like you want to repeat the dive, because you could repeat the dive and do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to do another quick menu here where I put on counterpoint, which is the keyblade we just got.
Which again just gives you a little bit extra magic.
Теперь ставим гравизу.
And I put on zero gravity,
Дополнительно
which is this game's version of Magnet.
ставим высокий прыжок
Magnet command, that it just
и
is
контригар.
Magnet
По идее,
So I put
он
on
должен был
Zoro as well,
поставить.
And I get rid of his Kiraga and put on the elixir we picked up earlier. Because elixirs in this game don't just restore HP, they also restore the link gauge with the Dream Eaters. And we use Comet a lot in one of Sora's next worlds. And I pick up a couple of Dream Candies along
Визуально один из самых таких вот приятных миров.
And I kill this lion here for EXP. Just to make sure I hit level 14 by the end of the world.
I love how you killed a lion, and then your Dream Eaters that were called Raw number 1, Raw number 2, all leveled up from the lion kill.
Yeah, they do. So I'm just selling a bunch of commands here to make sure I have enough to buy a Cura.
So these are all like crafting materials that you would use when messing with the whole Pokemon stuff in this
Yes.
game. And we don't need any of it in New Game Plus because we sorted that all out ahead of time, so
And
you can get rid of it for money.
And the idea is that he was selling the ones that make him the most money throughout there first.
Yes. And then after that, I just sell a bunch of stuff. I was like a tiny amount of money short. If you catch this world on a sale day, stuff sells for more money. So you have to sell less.
Like completely random.
And that is also completely random.
Wow. Sale day forecast.
Yes. You can buy rarer commands on sale days. That's kind of the difference between them.
Теперь нам нужно будет приближаться по оперному залу. По всему.
What do you think of the music in this world?
Ну, или по театру. Скорее, да.
Yeah,
It's the
that's
best
really
review we're
good.
gonna get.
Me
I
like
it.
he that
I like
music. Me like he dem tunes. So this is the other fight that I was talking about earlier, where Riku gains a ton of EXP in one fight. So, and again, this is like Sora's bit in Notre Dame, where like you're meant to go and destroy the like beakers which are spewing out this fluid, but you really don't need to do it. It's just a waste of time. Voila!
So Rebel, you've just used something that isn't balloon. Care to explain?
Basically that's this game's version of Magnet. That Zero Gravizer. You use it because it affects the Beagle Boys and stops them from moving around. And it's easier to hit enemies in it than, especially in small areas like that. It's easier to hit enemies with it than trying to just balloon in very, very confined spaces. Also, this is flow motion.
These are some awkward hallways for flow motion. See, flow motion, very good for wide open areas. Very not good for these small tunnel type things.
Снова используем магнит и снова ставим балунгу. Но вот он неудачно поставил балунгу за проходом. Плюс он еще страдает от яда, который разлит по земле. Ну, это мелочь.
Oh, that's what can happen if you dodge into an enemy. You activate flow motion in the same way.
So again, flow motion, great when you're not in a fight, but not so great when you're inside a fight.
Yeah, sometimes it's an active liability in combat rather than just sort of merely annoying.
Nice.
And you'll notice that you went up 5 levels.
Я комменчу еще Final Fantasy 9. Там, кстати, будет экшена и побольше, чем здесь, на самом деле. Спидран 9, он довольно-таки, ну, сложный, скажем так. Вот. И еще Kingdom Hearts. Birth by Sleep. Там, в принципе, тоже будет поживее, чем здесь, потому что тут спам-баллон идет в основном на файтах, и каких-то механик особо нет. Например, в той же девятке там довольно много страт. Ну да, да. 25-28. Например, в той же девятке там довольно много страт, и они отличаются довольно-таки сильно, в принципе.
I didn't get the dream candy that was in that room, which you grabbed during that phase, but it should be fine.
Went so fast, didn't pick up the
Oh, I got overcast, so.
Hey!
По сюжету, пока мы не закроем связку миров, а это именно Симфония и 3 мушкетера, мы не можем двигаться дальше. Поэтому он вынужденно делает дроп, переключается на Сору и будет закрывать теперь миры Сорой.
World record is 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Спойлераст спрашивает, спойлерить ли себе девятку. Иронично, иронично.
I got overcast. This is actually the one world where it saves the most amount of time. This is the world I was talking. This was the world I mentioned earlier when I explained overcast and said it saves multiple minutes. This is that world. Overcast legitimately can save minutes here. I usually bonk on this book, so... Oh no. I bonked. I used that slightly earlier than intended.
Ну так игре уже 18 лет. Можно было бы отыскать часиков 50 и пройти. Ну хотя даже казуально девятка проходится часов за 30-40, если не ставить целью там прокачаться.
So this drops you straight into another force fight, and the reason why I put on the knockout punch keyblade I did is because it's magic. Its strength stats higher. So I could use that, and it's
не, ну если в девятке не сидеть, не пытаться поймать 99 лягушек, не пытаться достигнуть озмы, то, в принципе, часов 30 изи. А если играть без гайдов, то о существовании озмы ты, скорее всего, и не узнаешь в первое прохождение. Нет, вот именно что девятка проходится первым левелом. Я сам проходил первым левелом. Если бы можно было отыскать, то ты бы отыскал. Ну, вообще, конечно, можно отыскать, но не факт. Это не очень очевидно. Мои 7, 10, 12. Если брать топ-3.
He was actually standing in the right position. On this one bit alone, you want your balloon RUS to split up and go hit him, because on this one fight they do slightly more damage than when they burst right on him. I don't know why. It's just we noticed a slight difference.
Игра с очень сложным сюжетом, да, но с очень легким геймплеем.
And there's another dream candy chest that I'm picking up here. Well, I say up here, it's down there. And then I spawn a few enemies up here. And then just comment. It doesn't usually, yep. The chef Kairus, they're called.
Он специально использовал метеор, чтобы поднять уровень, и тем самым еще поднять показатель магии, чтобы еще сильнее дамажить баллонами. Теперь предстоит мини-игра, в которой нужно запрыгнуть и не попасть под бочку. Ну как, мини-игра. Сейчас просто прилетит и все. Я нет, не играл.
Try and end right by where the stairs are.
Балура.
My dreamy has been kind of kind to me, so. And you get.
После этого файта будет файт с их боссом.
What happens when you try and cast balloon and things are stood right in front of you?
I love how you said the Dream Eaters are really kind to you, and they didn't give you Spirit Roar.
You don't need it when you have Overcast, but...
Oh, okay.
Overcast does so much damage that you don't always need it.
Right.
They do stack with each other, though.
Yeah, they do stack on top of each other.
Spirit Roar and Overcast, and like, oh dear, everything dies.
Yeah, they stack. We need to go to the shore. Go to that shoreline.
Some more ridiculously good music.
Еще больше фарма. Но с другой стороны, у него всего уровень 10. Так что уровень ему не повышает, не помешает. Да. В игре Kingdom Hearts есть в каждой, ну, почти в каждой игре есть полет. Это для быстрого передвижения, чтобы вы по локациям не бегали долго. Но полет обычно открывается в конце игры. Но, еще одно но, так как это НГ+, поэтому он перенес своих спиритов, это вот те милые существа, которые бегают около него. И можете называть их покемонами или как угодно. Они открывают определенные способности. И так как у него НГ+, поэтому он открыл, у него полет открыт сразу. И поэтому он летает как Супер Саян.
It's less than 2.5 seconds long.
Obliterated.
Yep. It one-shots all the elephants.
It's the circle of life. You're just standing around. Then
На НГ+, переносится духи,
somehow all
и
the
все.
dinosaurs are still alive.
Если бы он не проходил
By
НГ+,
balloons.
And I
то
put
это
slow
было
on
бы
there
еще
for the boss
дольше,
fight of
и
this,
ему бы пришлось еще
for the
дольше
boss fight
бегать
as well.
и
It
фармить.
helps very much so with the fight.
Ну, для спидранов эта игра, в принципе,
Yeah, I know,
такое
right?
себе.
This fight fast, we
Can't
play
be
slow.
Can't be having non-balloon commands.
I use 2 in the boss after this, though. Still cureless. We do not use cure.
No cure.
No cure.
That's the good stuff.
No fear. Then we go to the opera.
Ну вот, например, первая часть проходится за 2.40 где-то, вторая часть проходится за 2.50.
Outside here,
Birth by Sleep, каждая история проходится по часу.
and it kills all the enemies.
Вот это 2 часа.
Apart from that one there, that's fine. Now I might only need to kill the T-Rex in the middle up here.
Just to get the next level up, I'm guessing. Level
There it
13, where we get another magic increase. And a strength increase, which might be...
It is
necessary?
not needed at all.
No? Okay.
Not
Just
needed
magic.
at all. Yes. So here we fight the Beagle Boys again, and then it's followed up in the same fight.
И теперь мы будем сражаться против капитана Пита.
There he is.
So this bit's kind of the same as what I did before, but it's a bit easier because there's nowhere for balloons to pop, like the ceiling. So in this minigame, I'm looking for the arrows that are different, with the gold barrier, with the gold border around them, and you have to push the 2 sticks in the direction that it specifies.
And you have one of those pop up after killing each of these Beagle Boys.
Yes. And then Pete decides, you know what? I'm going to jump down and fight you myself.
Finally.
Huh.
Вот эти стрелочки указывают, в какое направление вам
Doing
стоит
the motion, it was like
зажать стики.
Too fast.
too speedy for me.
После того, как вы одолеете 3 помощников Пита, вы будете сражаться с самим Питом. Slow и спам баллон. Kingdom Hearts стоит проходить в порядке их выхода. Это будет по временной линии прыгать, но зато не схватишь лишних спойлеров.
Yemless.
Overcast really helps there. I didn't get any spirit rolls, but it didn't really matter.
Right. If you didn't get Overcast and you also didn't get the spirit rolls, he might
He
have
would
ended
have
up DMing or
DM'd
something.
definitely
Yeah.
in that fight.
And how much time would that lose?
I probably would have died because
You would've died?
you saw
Okay.
what level my HP was
He was
at.
getting bodied.
Right. And since you don't have
Ну,
Aurora right
если
now as
ты
well.
не будешь смотреть в инете, то и не
I
нахватаешься.
go cureless without Overcast as well. Because you do not have the deck space. So
You
why
are
would I
that type
waste
of
it?
runner.
Yes.
Многие люди опасаются того,
Always
что
go for it. If you don't get it, it wasn't good anyway.
они нахватаются спойлеров на Kingdom Hearts 3, потому что в Японии она выходит на 4 дня раньше, чем на Западе,
Now we get to see basically
поэтому
the same world that we saw
многие
in
боятся
here in
спойлеров.
Symphony of Sorcery.
It's slightly different, but it's pretty much the
We
same
still
one.
have all the mini games fun.
Yeah, but
It's
in
got a real boss fight.
sort of. Riku's one is with like ice stuff, but Sora's one is with flowers.
So it's Frozen versus Tangled, basically.
If you say so.
Yeah, okay. We'll ignore
Ну,
I said
персона обычно полгода.
I'm surprised I didn't hit the edge of that flower ring then.
that. Well, you hit that one to make up for it.
Yeah, the karma got to me there.
Next time there's a close call, just don't mention it. No one will notice.
Back off.
Gather, back off.
And then he screams faster while he's attacking them. Yeah! Oh, and something that baffled people for a long time is what score things needed to collect. For the longest time, people were going through the ones that.
Вот, например, в случае с Dragon Quest 11, Dragon Quest 11 вышел год назад, то есть больше даже. Но Dragon Quest 11, например, на японском он не озвучен, и они взяли паузу, скажем, в год, чтобы озвучить. Ну и перевести и озвучить. Потому что для западного игрока без озвучки... Ой, без озвучки текст читать, это так сложно. Вот. С другой стороны, непонятно, почему сами японцы не могут озвучить себе, что, конечно, странно, ну ладно.
Okay, so since you just changed your commands up a little bit, could you describe what collision magnet is?
It's a command that basically grabs an enemy and throws them and stuns them. The reason why we grab it is because well, this was actually
Ну, в Зельде, насколько я знаю, и текста не особо много, в отличие от того же Dragon Quest.
And because it was apparently very, very good on Spelican, and she used it, and she was like, oh, because it hits Spelican out of teleport, which no other command can do. It just grabs him out of teleport, where he's meant to be invincible. So that is why we grab it.
Every time you do.
Не, это странно, потому что у самих-то, у японцев, у них же рынок актеров озвучки, это он очень большой. Поэтому...
By accident?
No, I'm pressing a different button because I know what I'm like, and I will press it again. So we do this one here. I wasn't seen that pattern. There are different patterns that can happen. Some of them are longer than others. Slight RNG in the mini games as well. Oh, and those big black blobs that are everywhere with the lightning around them, they can kill you.
Боссом Мусора будет именно тот самый волшебник, который призывал других боссов в Треверстауне, и он довольно противный. Хотя здесь, учитывая, что у него есть игра Вига и Магнет, это будет, ну, легко. Но в казуальном прохождении он мне столько нервов испоганил.
I didn't mention it earlier, but the little fireworks that come out can actually hit enemies.
Yeah, it juggles that, like, giraffe dude.
Очень непривычно видеть, допустим, в Дисиде озвученных персонажей, там, Зиданов или озвученных там из восьмерки. Ну, потому что ты вот привык, что они молчат все время. Ну, имею в виду, озвучки нет. Тут, короче, бам, и слышишь их голос, и такой, типа, окей, окей.
You do not want overcast here.
And when sunlight shines, you can go to the end.
Boo!
You enjoyed it.
No,
it was
I
a good
don't.
one.
I refuse.
Okay. We're just having a fight over who makes the most
И вот тот самый босс.
jokes throughout this run.
Волшебник.
Can't tell who's winning.
I think it's me.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I've never wanted to leave you in the UK more than I have in the past few days, so...
I can leave.
Can you?
Is that a promise? Is that a promise? Or
Promise or a threat?
We've only got 30 minutes left until you get world record, so I'll stay for now.
А, точно, у босса еще две фазы. Первая — это мини-игра, а вторая — это сам файт.
He will throw either these little purple orbs at you, or he'll throw a rock at you. The purple orbs are faster on PS4. They got faster due to 60 FPS, so they are more annoying to dodge. So the pattern you want is...
Not that?
Not that. You want kind of... Not this. You want rocks. Oh my... Spelican, please.
Oh my Spelican.
And... There you go. Look how little damage I did with that.
Your strength.
Магнет.
And we actually get to the fight.
И Балунра.
So you stun him with this, you do a couple of bloom rows. Then as he goes to do anything, you just hit him with that. And he flies into walls and just gets stunned. And then as he gets back up, you just repeat the process.
And And again, using the collision magnet to stop his teleports.
It's like the sole good use of that command.
Если он сделает все правильно,
Unfortunately,
он
getting too much help from the Dream Eaters here,
скипнет
double
гонку.
spirit rolls, so
Если нет, то придется
hasn't
еще
been as
погоняться.
fast as a fight as it could have been, but
Oh, there's one.
right at the end,
Right
just
at
for
the
the
end.
last balloon.
Brilliant. Oh. Teleports.
It's fine. Oh, and again.
Hey, you got another spirit
Where
roll
is
out
he?
of it. You got 2 spirit rolls.
Oh, he's up there. I can't see.
Another spirit roll. How many?
И nice.
We could have done with these at the start of this fight, so this
Yeah,
didn't
the
happen.
Dream Eaters at this point are like, come on, man, get
Just finish him off already.
They were pity rolls at that point.
Pity
rolls.
I was trying to lock onto him, but he kept teleporting. Then he teleported up the top and I just couldn't hit him. So there's Sora's counterpoint, which hopefully we won't get to see. So
И последний мир — это, собственно, последний мир. Это мир, которого не существует. Это последние 2 дайва будут за Рику и за Сору.
And for some reason on 60 FPS, this fight is slightly harder to one cycle.
Аниме, кстати, по покемонам, как и по мне, цепляет больше, чем и игра. Потому что в игре ты рано или поздно понимаешь, что твоя команда уже особо не поменяется, и становится играть скучно. А тут какое-то приключение. Обожаю приключения. Вторая фаза. Боссом.
It's kind of hard to hit her.
Не, просто есть оптимальные покемоны, скажем так. Ты же, зная, что ты можешь взять Черезарда, ты же не будешь брать Пикачу, допустим. Потому что, ну, Пикачу по показателям Черезарду уступает. Это не просто пчела, это кошмарная пчела. Наши персонажи находятся в мире снов. И это кошмары.
This is what happens sometimes. Oh, this is going to be tight now.
Yeah.
If I don't get it, I'll lose a bit of time. There's nothing I can do about it.
We'll just subtract the time from the timer. If we could get text off on that, that'll be great. Just remove 2 minutes. It didn't happen.
Oh, got a hit. There you
Okay.
go.
Should be good for time.
Ну, вы всегда можете, типа, заняться ролевыми играми, попросить какую-нибудь знакомую одеться пчелой и, типа, вперед.
Yes, so I was fine. It's 2 minutes and 10 seconds, I think you get. Oh, it's about 1 minute 50, 2 minutes, so I'm fine there. So now the game forces you to drop to Riku for story reasons. It just goes, play as Riku, please.
Again, run out of content for Sora for this bit. Please change to Riku.
This game was made in the 90s. This would be a 2-disc game.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Definitely 2 discs.
Ну, можете и сестру, можете и маму, и кого угодно. На самом деле. Любого, кто согласится. Любого. Главное любить ролевые игры. Вот что самое главное.
Okay.
I just didn't know
That's so sarcastic.
Все, это последний дайв.
When it shows up.
Poor Sabbath.
I'm trying my best to answer good questions. You wanted us to do this. You said at the start of the round to ask questions.
I never said ask.
Хотя, на самом деле, это не последний дайв. Перед последним боссом еще один будет.
Nice. So, this one's incredibly easy compared to Sora's one. Sora gets a boss with a lot of RNG. Riku gets to just ride through some circles. and the A rank is given to you on a silver platter. Like, Riku has no issue getting dive ring, to be honest, but Sora, is Queen Butterfly too. That's the one that decides it. So I'll be able to give you an idea of if I've overcast about now. I should have it. Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
Woo. That RNG though.
Fast world.
I mean, I'm gonna lose it for one of the boss fights, but that's fine. It doesn't save enough time to warrant having it in that fight as well.
So in this section, we get a lot of cool looking reality shifts where there's a little white section in all of these grey chains, and when the white sections link together, you have to cut them with the laser thing.
It's actually one of the only reality shifts that got harder on PS4.
Обычно здесь нужно лететь и открывать реалити-шифты, но так как есть прыжок, и с помощью флоу-моушена можно этого не сделать, он сейчас откроет один реалити-шифт и после этого запрыгнет сразу туда, куда нужно.
I might need to kill some extra enemies on the way, but that's fine. I'm slightly short on XP, that's fine. I'll just kill a couple of extra enemies on the way around. Sorry! He apologizes for hitting the ground.
The ground never did anything to him.
So he apologizes.
It's just the fastest way to like fall downwards is to slam your keyblade into it.
And I guess at this point in the story, let's talk about that for the first time.
That's not.
Okay, never mind. But you see Riku and Sora kind of joining up, and Sora looks a bit glitchy there. I guess it's kind of saying that they kind of linked up a bit more now towards the end of the game. I don't really know.
I don't know why they both appear here.
Yeah. Say, like, everyone likes to talk about Kingdom Hearts plot being complicated. For the most part, I think this is slightly unfair until you hit this game where it really does in fact just become a convoluted pile of nonsense. Because it involves time travel, somehow.
There is time travel. That's all you need to know.
Time travel.
Right, so I'm gonna put on my dive ring now. And you see, it increases my magic by 1 stat. And that 1 stat is the most important.
Crucial stat. The most important stat that was ever set.
Ставим побольше магии лечения.
Change what like command your deck will reset to when you press the reset deck button.
И на правде, кстати, желательно бы иметь Once More Second Chance, чтобы не умирать от тычек босса, но на бигинере они не так сильно дамажат. Поэтому, в принципе, можно обойтись без них.
And you'll notice we're level 15 right now with Riku, and I'm guessing the battle level for this world is somewhere around 40, 50?
About that.
Yeah. We don't even know. It doesn't matter.
I wasn't even looking this time.
That's fine. I've got really itchy ear. But this animation gives you so much time. I usually like, this is like the bit of the game where you can actually kind of stop and have a drink because it plays all these unskippable cutscenes.
Just take a sip of your tea.
Tea? No, I have water like a real person.
Like a real person. People who don't drink water are not real people.
If you drink tea, you're not real.
I mean, technically tea has water in it, so...
This event sponsored by Red Bull. Drink Red Bull.
Replace your water with the man's drink.
Drink Red Bull in your tea.
Whoa, use that instead of water.
Try something new.
Red Bull, gamer fuel.
I'm not opening it on stream. I'm scared.
Wrecking that red.
That one's been in my bag for I don't know how long, so it's probably fizzed to hell and back.
I like how after he apologized to that first one, he hasn't apologized to any of the other ones.
I won't apologize to any other ground.
Like, I think he just has, like, feelings for the one that he said sorry to.
One almost slightly prettier than the rest.
Yeah.
Ну, иногда использование чересчур игровых механик, когда игра становится слишком легкой, то такое себе. С другой стороны, сколько людей, столько и типов, как играть в игры. Поэтому, если кому-то нравится играть, чтобы было тяжелее, то почему бы и нет.
That if he hits me with it, there's a very high possibility that I will die in one hit. Because it's a move that drains you.
Кто-то, играя в РПГ, придумывает челленджи, проходит там РПГ с первым уровнем, кто-то любит качаться, прокачивается до 99-го, приходит и ваншотит босса. Так что тут уж свое видение на то, как проходить игру.
But it can still happen, and if it does, I die. Oh well. There's not much I can do about it. And it's one of the only annoying things. Yeah, it doesn't do that in JP, but it doesn't in English.
Yeah, it does. It's not in the Japanese version. You don't get snapped off the pipe like that, or you land on the pipe. Yep, goes crazy. English exclusive.
Все, он подбирается к последнему боссу.
Or when you land on it and you land on it clearly forwards and it snaps you back.
Those blind camera turn around.
Like that.
The blind camera shot, yeah, like that, and that happens as well. So the next fight here, I should probably do that. So the next fight here is anti-black coat.
I would actually really love to know why the pipes screw up on English but not on Japanese.
I would like to know why.
Довольно сложный файт, именно за счет своего рандома.
He's wearing a black coat. So he's definitely not anti-black.
Даже несмотря на балунру, вы можете очень легко отъехать. Очень легко отъехать.
So again, Overcast doing a lot of damage here. Spirit Roar would stack, and we'd be doing a little bit more damage, but still very fast fight so far.
There's the drain.
And draining move happened.
I'm just gonna back off and kill. Okay. So that is the drain move. Oh, and something else about this guy. You know the little HP orbs that are around? He can pick them up and they actually like heal him.
Wow.
They heal him.
We didn't die.
He can cure himself. So that was very lucky. I got hit by the move that drains you to 1 HP and he...
Да.
I think what happened was one of my magic lapins slapped
Уважаемый,
him, so
вы правы.
And luckily, your one of your cure commands recovered in like 2 seconds after that move hit, so you're able to cure pretty quickly.
И теперь мы сражаемся... окей. Против Энсома.
So in this first bit, you want to make sure that you do the reality shift, and you want to complete it. It's not necessarily faster, but when you're in the air, you don't have your Dream Eaters with you, and when you're on the ground bit here, your Dream Eaters are there, and they have the potential to give you more Spirit Roars. Only the potential, not
not guaranteed.
It's been a while since we've
It's never guaranteed, indeed. It's like there's some parts of getting Overcast is random, getting Spirit Roars is random, or the other.
Сравнивая, допустим, этот файт с файтом в первой части, где вам нужно было подсчитывать количество ударов, и которые вам нужно сделать прям вообще казуальщина.
So usually with Overcast, the boss fight after this is usually DM-less. Usually. You can get pushed back and you can get DM'd.
You've just jinxed it, Rebel. It is no longer going to be DM-less.
You're gonna have.
I mean, it really doesn't matter if it is.
You're going to die 6 times to this fight now.
Wow.
Oh, the BM.
That'll be fine.
And you see how much damage Overcast
really does.
does.
The balloon inside, and then it all pops immediately, and whoosh! That was like a bar and change.
And if you do this reality shift, it actually stuns him. And you do it carefully. It actually stuns him and gives you way more time to get DM-less. You only tend to see it if like you have Overcast, because you have to do enough damage to him in a very short amount of time. Drain is not useful, guys.
Say you got Drain. That's not Spirit Roar.
And then he'll automatically start this move here. But 3 balloon runners.
Что еще, кстати, в Kingdom Hearts очень клево, это музыка. Написано Йокой Шимамурой. Ну или Симамурой. В зависимости от того, как вы читаете.
That do a surprisingly large amount of damage. I mean, I'm level 15, so obviously, like, my defense is abysmal compared to... И
босс-файт, и музыкальная тема вообще просто шикарная.
So I've already done Sora's command, so I've only got to put the dive wing on him. Now I can do that. Now Sora basically just has a bit of movement into his next boss fight, which is Zemnis. Wow, I dropped a bit there.
Осталось еще 3
Also,
босс-файта
Juniors weren't healed.
с Земносом, с
Still low health.
неизвестной фигурой и с Веном.
Ooh, I'm going to super glide over to this building here, and while it's raising up, I'm going to cure them. That was not. You meant to end the cure before that, but it's fine. I'll just flow motion up this building here, and then it flings you upwards, and you can just super glide. So Sora gets more of an outside perspective of world than ever was. Riku's is kind of an more indoors kind of area. Yep. So the game hints at here that you're meant to stand on this and wait for it to fling you upwards, but it's just faster to flow motion up it, because it takes forever to charge it up. You can see it's about to start it up there, but you can just do that rather than waiting for it. Now, Sora's version
Вейр около 2 часов, если я ничего не путаю. Ой.
And it's called Nightmare's End for Sora. It's called something different for Riku.
Mirage split.
Yes, that's it. I didn't look because I forget the names of all the reality shifts in this game.
I didn't look either, I just know.
Oh, do you just know?
Yeah.
Wow.
For some reason, that's the one detail I remember. I have played this game, you know, shockingly enough.
Shockingly.
Shockingly.
Короче, в VR 1 час 57 минут.
This place is infamous because usually sometimes Dream Eaters will just spam Spirit Roar on you while you're walking through this area. It happened to it's happened to many of people where they don't use Spirit Roars on them for the whole run, and then they'll just spam them on them here when there are no enemies around.
What determines whether or not a Dream Eater even uses Spirit Roar to begin with?
It's completely random.
Just totally random.
Basically,
like not affected by anything.
It's slightly affected by affinity. So usually we start with affinity at level 9 because when they take damage, their affinity lowers. It's kind of like how happiness works in Pokemon. And if their affinity hits 0, they get silenced, so they can't cast anything. So that's the reason why we start with it as high as possible.
Yeah, but otherwise they just use Spirit Roar literally whenever the hell they feel like it.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant.
They sometimes just go, you know what, time for Spirit Roar, guys. So Zemnis will throw buildings at you. Oh, lovely, one of them. So this is what happens when Dream Eaters get knocked out. And you...
Yeah, this is a bit scary. Oh, you got Spirit Roar at least for your troubles.
Yes.
Now for damage. He's up there, he is.
Спам Балунри. Опять-таки, да. А во второй части это был такой клевый файт.
So,
balloons go around the barrier.
Oh, no, don't you dare do that. Thank God. That attack there can one-shot you if, like, stuff doesn't go your way. I'm not gonna...
Playing the ski. Nah, he goes for the heal. Got the Spirit Roar again, though.
Yes. He did
right in time for the DM.
He did the attack that actually one-shots you 3 times in a row there, and I managed to avoid it. So I do this attack, the link with the Dream Eaters here, because they like to run towards Zemnis and take damage for no reason at all. So I usually end it there when there's like one building. So you don't do that for your safety, you do that to keep them out of it. Because look at them heavily bouncing towards it. Bodied, free. And there's actually a reality shift that shows up here, but we don't do it. We just take the building to the face, because if you do it, for the rest of the fight, Zemnis has super armor. So he just doesn't get stunned.
Oh, brilliant. Just eat a building to the face to go fast.
And then the reason why I super glide back to my Dream Eaters is because otherwise they spend forever trying to... I'm going to try and dodge that. Otherwise your Dream Eaters spend forever trying to run up to you.
Yeah, which takes away from the possibility
potential
of them
using
using
Spirit Roar.
Yeah, they ain't got a very high movement speed.
It turns out they don't want to use Spirit Roar anyway.
And it's actually kind of useful when Zemnis doesn't get all the stuff popped on him at once, because
И последний Балунри. И
GG.
GG. Вот такой вот файт.
Oh, there's the Spirit Roar. Right at the end.
And right at the end.
For the last hit.
Last hit.
I like how the barrier move just... Balloon doesn't care about it. at all.
No, it does actually burst on the inside of it, but when you stand right at the edge and cast it, it spawns on the
either
outside.
spawns
Теперь игра
or the
навсегда
balloons kinda, like,
переходит
take you off a rank.
к игре только за Рику. Ну, в смысле, до конца
So now the
игры
game
мы будем
forces
играть
you
уже
back
только
to Riku
Рику.
again. So you drop to Sora to do that one fight, and then it goes, oh, you need to play Riku again now.
Осталось еще 2 босса. Один из самых сложных.
And Sora is actually no longer available and in the story. It's signified by there's no drop gauge anymore. It just disappears when you beat that boss as Sora. Because in the story, Sora gets well, taken by Xehanort, getting naughted is the news.
На стриме спойлеры, короче, на английском. Спойлерасты.
Yes.
That terminology makes no sense, but I really can't think of any other way to say it.
Yes. So now we're fighting the time-traveled younger version of Xehanort. We weren't lying when it says time travel.
Yeah, no.
And hopefully, yes, he got slapped. It does nothing, but it is funny. He will teleport behind you sometimes, and your magic Lappin will just slap him in the face.
Первая фаза.
I'm trying to make sure that balloons are going around him.
Spirit roll.
Он отматывает время, и начинается вторая фаза.
And I'm going back to the middle to make sure that thank you for the spirit roll.
Although it's probably not going to last for.
It won't
Get through the real age.
So the way this fight works is after you kill the first, after you kill his first set of HP bars, you have to do this, and then I have to wait for it now. And then there's a timed bit after this where you have to destroy the clock in a certain amount of time. Otherwise, the fight resets. So you can use a couple of balloons on here while there's no HP bar. The boss still takes the damage, but I need to wait until stuff comes out. The boss still takes the damage, but you can't target it. So I just jump over all the attacks that he throws at me. I'm gonna make sure I kill. So.
Hey, spirit roll. Spirit roll. Groovy. Did the drain replace the
It
spirit
doesn't
roll?
replace it.
Okay. I wouldn't.
And now that he's done with that attack, I can just go.
That's big damage.
I'm gonna kill to make sure that when he's
See, there's that animation cancelling really helping him out there. Just spam
Nice.
balloons with impunity.
yeah.
Остался последний дайв
Flash
и
is
финальный
like the
босс.
best attack that he can attack you with on the second phase.
Getting good spirit roll luck with these.
Decent enough.
Decent
spirit
enough.
luck.
Not like perfect, but like
Yeah.
yeah. Really get perfect luck with this game.
Right. So there's one more dive that I've got to complete before you get to the actual final boss of this game.
And it's a fantastic dive, where you
Yeah.
basically just get to touch Sora a lot. I worded that very wrongly. You do this time,
Oh, okay.
and
yeah,
there are a bunch of Soras just flying in the air, and Riku sort of collects them on his way down.
Нужно собрать
The
30
The
Сор.
dive doesn't end when you tag the 30 Soras. It ends when you get to the end. You just got to tag 30 of them to unlock the door. And there are way more than 30 here. Oh, nice whiff, dude. Oh, lovely. And it doesn't matter how you tag them. You can touch them. You can attack them. Because you know, we're trying to save our friends, so I nearly said thrusting into him is okay, but that's like...
Ну, он не закончит игру быстрее, чем предыдущий рекорд, потому что мировой это час 57. А у него уже
That seems
2:05.
like nothing compared to what you just said. Excellent.
Right. So now we are fighting Armored Ventus Nightmare, is the official boss's name.
Финальный босс.
Final boss of the game?
Oh, my balloon's there. So this is the fight where spirit rolls are really needed. This attack here is just a move where you can't do anything to him. You just have to wait for it to finish. So we call these things white rooms, and your Dream Eaters disappear during white rooms, which is very, very useful because, you know. And they disappear during this one as well. But this one, he just relentlessly attacks you. And it's very, very common to die in this one because he just does nothing but come at you. So I just usually just try and dodge him. He can actually get stunned during this one, which is very, very useful. I'm not getting very good spirit roll luck here, but that's fine. He's actually staying out on the field a lot more than he usually does. That was a waste of a white room for him. fine. So usually this fight is you just blindly Spirit Roar and lovely, as he started a white room. So this fight is usually you just blindly balloon and hopefully enough hits him. And if you get like 2 or 3 Spirit Roars in good places and he doesn't white room a bunch,
Осталось всего парочка баллонов.
no time at all, but sometimes this fight takes like way more time than needed.
Speedrun is over. Увы, но Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance довольно скучный, поэтому...
Little shot lock thing. So this is another place where English loses time to Japanese. On Japanese, he starts attacking you straight away. On English, he doesn't for a little bit. But and time is when this attack hits.
And
so
you got extremely anime
No,
hit.
все.
Smash that
Clap,
button if you
easy.
want.
Easy clap.
There it is, Dream Drop Distance.
That is Dream Drop distance.
Кстати говоря, это рекорд даже самого раннера. Его предыдущий это 2 часа и 9 минут, а на ЕСе он прошел за 2 часа 7 минут. Так что это его личный personal best. Может быть, он еще что-нибудь покажет. Может быть, файт против большого босса. Я не помню, как его зовут.
Not 5 minutes
Not
over
5
estimate.
minutes overestimate would be a
Don't
very
be
disappointing
mean.
showing of a Kingdom Hearts game.
Don't be mean.
So to end off, I just want to shout out all the DDD runners, especially the old people who used to run on 3DS.
Из endgame боссов здесь только один, я не помню, как его зовут. Прошу прощения, там такой из канализации вылазит. Но он тоже убивается простым спамом баллун. Он постоянно от них спотыкается и погибает. Так что... Нет, Dream Drop Distance — это игра, которая выходила на Nintendo 3DS. На PlayStation Portable выходила Birth by Sleep. И Birth by Sleep мы еще увидим в последний день.